And now, another informative video from the NASA archives.
When we did it, we had not had to close the hatch. And that was the last hatch that operated the way it was before they got killed. So we did not have the hatch locked. And the next day we were still training, but we were trying to wait for them so we could all fly back together here. We loved flying in those days. We got lots and lots of flight time. We loved it. Well, it got down to about 4 o'clock on a Friday, and we decided, well, we better fly back because they still hadn't done it. They'd had that cockpit. It had been closed up. It meant they had 100% oxygen, soaking everything up for, I guess, a couple of hours in there. We flew back, the three of us. When we got here, there was the flight officer was out there meeting us as we were parking our airplanes, which was very unusual. Went inside and found out that the crew was gone. That meant no flying for that time. That was January. Was that January or February 27th? Yeah, January 27th. When that happened. Well, a couple of weeks later, then we inherited the first crew. And 21 months later, and after they'd made, I think, 1,040 changes in there, we finally get down to time for the countdown. And I have to say this, that flight was so, the equipment were all so perfectly done in it that while we had a few problems here or there or operational problems like that, we ended up flying that for 11 days. And even though it was scheduled for that 11 days, I can't say that anybody was terribly confident we were going to make 11 days. And things were going so well on that mission that they added 4 more important mission objectives onto it. So when we got down, came back, there's maybe some internal problems, which some of you might read about or talk about, but when we got back in, it was declared 101% successful. And that was a good start for the Apollo program because we were counting on every one of those missions, and they had been looking at Apollo 8 for a number of weeks about going out around the moon, but there was no commitment to it. In fact, that commitment, there was a kind of a fight going on before it lifted off. Well, I shouldn't call it a fight maybe, but there was a lot of disagreement. It took them about 6 weeks, I think, or 5 weeks to say for sure that that's what they were going to do. And they did, and they had a brilliant mission on that. Even today, as you look back on it, you'll find that Apollo 7 was it was the longest, most ambitious, most successful first test flight of any new flying machine ever. And as time went on, I began to feel very, very fortunate that we're doing what we're doing and enjoying it and being successful on the startup. Thank you.